mean, we did approach them for appealing for the machinery and other things. It is in the pipeline, sir. We are actually somewhere it is close to say around 8 to 10 CR of the budget is what required for the plant. So we are actually raising the funds, and most of it we have actually opted to our nationalized banks, and we have raised funds through that.
So far bootstrap.
Phenomenal step, sir. Phenomenal step. I mean, this is what we never means. It's a dream come true for me, sir. I mean, I think next 2 months, if we do good at airport, then it will be a game changer. Like we will be changing the way India is eating.
Thank you.
We run around. It will be around 7 to 9 tons per day, ma'am. 7 to 9 tons per day. And the beauty of this is first of its kind of plant in India, wherein our management approved just with a small R&D we went through. We presented it to them. There is no automated vacuum packaging in India at all. We are coming up with that. And for millets, and second thing, the beauty of millet marvels is we don't use polished millet at all. We cook only with whole grain, and we use only minor millets. And the beauty of again millet marvels is we don't use the same millet every day. We keep changing millet every day, and we use only whole grain, no polished millets. And like I think probably we have proudly published, ma'am, it's a no whites restaurant. We don't use anything that is white in our restaurant.
Okay. A question to Pradeep ji.
One second.
Pradeep Panikkar ji, you said you're going to take this to all over India.
No,
I wholeheartedly thank Pradeep sir, Naikar sir, ma'am, and our new executive director for taking time to be here. This is actually a very important day, not only for me, not for our company. This is an important day for the country. You've been seeing what we have written, changing the way India eats. That is the vision we are working on. That is what we are trying to emphasize, and that is what we are trying to tell people. On this special occasion, I wanted to thank GMR team wholeheartedly, right from Kishore sir, Ashfaq sir, their projects team, everybody who were actually part, helped us to make this, basically a dream becoming reality today for me. This is what we dreamed for the last 3 to 4 years, and I wholeheartedly thank GMR for the opportunity. Coming about our startup, this basically we started after seeing there is an incremental increase in diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and a lot of PCOD issues. So when we actually did an R&D, it was actually the whole root cause was what we were eating was wrong. So that is when we took up this challenge to change the way. That's how the startup actually struggled today, and it's a proud moment for all of. And I think probably I'll pass it on to you to take it further, sir.
Opportunity. First of all, let me congratulate Dr. Bharat Reddy for this very great initiative. We are, as researchers, we are very passionate about our field of work. The same passion I see in Dr. Bharat also, and he is not only passionate in his medical profession but also passionate to improve the health of the people he is concerned with. So this is the first step he has taken, and really appreciate from the core of my heart. Very, very thank you, Dr. Bharat, and taking this initiative and trying to improve the health of the public. And as you all know, this is the International Year of Millets, and Government of India is taking all steps to push millets, not only in India, across the globe. And recently we had the visit of G20 Ministers of Agriculture to IIMR. They learned and understood what are the importance of millets and what are the various things we can think of millets and the benefits of millets. And in one of the meetings with Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, the former Director General of Indian Council of Medical Research, we were having a discussion, and this came out very clearly that if doctors prescribe millets, the people will accept them more easily. And that first initial step you have taken, Dr. Bharat, and this is very laudable. And also thank Mr. Panikkar and team and GMR team for providing the right space here in the airport. Here in the airport, you see many people, many big people who have less time to focus on their health, but they are busy in traveling because of their many engagements. And you are trying to capture rightly that particular group of people who are very important. and trying to address their health. Again, one more thanks from my core of heart to you, and on behalf of IIMR and our NutriHub, I really welcome you in this endeavor, and we'll be there with you for all the support and technical backstepping wherever you need from us. And we wish that you should progress like this and establish all over the country. Not only now in India, we would like to see in the international level also. Thank you, and once again, hearty congratulations.
Into making more informed choices, and I truly believe they're already at the cusp of figuring out what works for them and what doesn't. I think young people, there's more money in the more exploration, going out and trying to see what is out there, and everyone's now aware of the evils of refined foods, of sugars, of the whites, I would say, which is sugar, wheat, and more people are trying to make that shift in their lives. Especially with the new processed foods factory that we're setting up in Sultanpur, it's going to be much more accessible for young adults to get their hands on a 2-minute Maggi packet as such, but made from millets. Instant upma that's made from millets. Things like this that are going to be quick for them, fast meal, but still rooted in some or the other health benefit. Yeah. And just to answer your previous question as well, sir, we, through private investment, are investing 15 crores in the Sultanpur facility. We've employed around 100 people, out of which 40 have already been deployed, out of which 50% are actually women. So there's a huge push that we're also doing in terms of really ensuring that most of our factory is operated by women. It's all through private investment. So via our new shareholding structure.
Bharatji, could you tell what is the plant capacity?
We are talking about why millets. One is climate resilience, second one is about the nutrition part. Now you are talking about the capability, potential and all those things, why India is less yields and all that. So in India it is grown in the most marginal conditions where no other crop will come. So with that still we are able to get 1 ton per hectare and all. I told you the potential is 8 tons. So if you are able to bring, if the farmer realizes there is some profits. Earlier the basic difference is that these crops were grown for the farmers for their own consumption. Today the transition is taking place. He has to grow for your sake and my sake. So he is able to see the money in it. I think this transition will help to take and gain more cultivation under millets, and obviously the crop management practices will come into place, and then that gives them higher incomes and obviously the increased yields also. These are all the vicious circle that is going to happen. So 60 years of neglect, suddenly you are bringing millets. Overnight we cannot expect anything better than what is happening. But I am sure that with all this Indian millets, actually all the export that is being done is, earlier it was only grains. Now today is the value added products are added to that. So many of the export statistics are also not in place because there is no category of minor millets in that. HS codes, harmonized standardized numbers are there for that. So now that is being instituted. So this entire value chain is gearing up. Thanks to the Prime Minister for the leadership that he is taking to promote, and this is going to happen. And see, until and unless you have potential, nobody goes for HS numbers. So it's happening. So I think keep yourself just abreast with the latest developments which we are going to share in the days to come. But I just would like to compliment the role that is played by the startups and especially the Millet Marvels. Thank you.
Thank you, first of all, so much for the opportunity for us to actually be here and inform you guys about what Millet Marvels is, what it is that we're trying to achieve, and why opening up at the airport was such an important move for us. As you all know, this is the year of the millets. So awareness in terms of what millets are, what the health benefits are, and accessibility into everyday households has been a huge increase. Everybody is talking about millets, everybody knows what millets is. But once you sort of have this awareness, what are you going to do about it? How does one make an informed choice going about choosing the right brand for you, choosing the right sort of recipes to be able to make with millets? And that's what we're really trying to do here with Millet Marvels, and access into your homes, into your kitchens, and into a more healthy lifestyle. Actually having a stand here at the airport is a huge deal for us, because it sort of shows the thousands of travelers that are coming every day into Hyderabad airport what millets can look like in their own kitchens. That's the sort of example that we're trying to create by having our presence in the airport here. So on that note, I would firstly like to thank the GMR team, Mr. Panikar sir, for letting us bring this wide platform and to help us access these millions of people that are traveling through Hyderabad airport on a monthly basis, and really show them what millets are and how they can be utilized in their kitchens as well. We'd also like to thank Mr. Kishore Devrakonda and team, Ms. Meenu ma'am and team, the IIMR Director and CEO, Mr. Dayakar Rao sir, and Director Mrs. Tara Satyavati ma'am, for actually nurturing and bringing Millet Marvels to fruition and actually making it a reality. Thank you so much for that. Of course, we'd like to thank Shri Sangeeta Reddy ma'am for making this a successful project. And none of this would be possible without the inception and brainchild of Dr. Bharat, who is so passionate about millets, about the journey that he wants to take his patients on, and he kind of treats everybody else also like his patients, and make sure that they really get access to the best quality in terms of what millets and food can offer. So thank you everyone for your time here today, and we look forward to you all trying out our new stall at the GMR airport and sharing your thoughts with us.
Much far, and also your statement that the elite patronizing millet will definitely take it to the other sections as well. Now we'll open the forum for question answers by media.
I would like to know your plans, and now that you are settled in Hyderabad with some four, five outlets, what is your national plans?
Sir, this is just the beginning, sir. Like our executive director spoke, thanks to GMR and Shri Sangeeta Reddy ma'am. This was a dream for me to at least tell people there is something that you can eat with millets at airport at such a wider platform, so that we actually made it into reality. Like next phase, we are actually looking at spreading at all the Apollo hospitals groups, sir. And sir actually had come to our organization. Sir had actually appreciated our efforts. Like Apollo Health City was the first hospital in India to serve millet food to its patients. And today we have crossed more than 2.5 lakh patients, and one meal every day to the patient we serve millet, and predominantly minor millets. That is a very important thing which Millet Marvels very strictly follows. So now this we are spreading it to Chennai next, and this will be taken across to all the Apollos first, sir. That's on the patient front. Coming up onto our restaurant, and we have two verticals apart from our restaurant format. We also have products, close to 18 to 20 products. So we will be taking it slowly, sir. Next we are actually talking with like how Pradeep sir had actually mentioned, like we are actually looking at going to GMR Delhi next. So we want to see how it is going to be in the next 2 to 3 months here in Hyderabad, sir. Because this is an experimental food. We don't know the acceptance. We don't know how people are going to take it. But we have around 5 to 7 outlets in the city, which are all doing well and which are successful also, sir.
So two more questions from my side, sir.
Yes, sir.
How much turnover did you do in 22-23, and how much funds you have raised so far?
Sir, to be very honest, I should thank IIMR. I'm here. Probably we are all budded from Dayakar sir's Nutri Hub, and that's where Millet Marvels also started. We did receive a grant from IIMR as well, and currently we have a turnover close to say we are doing around including both formats, close to 50 lakhs probably per month is the turnover which we are looking at, sir. But we are sure we'll be increasing it once this airports things open, and we are also, excuse me, sir. We are also very happy to share we are actually coming up with a very huge millet processing unit here, which again will be one of its kind in India. It's an USDA and BRC certified plant, first of its kind, where we will be doing automated vacuum packing. There is no automated vacuum packing in India, wherein you will be seeing value-added products and secondary processed millets, which we will be bringing up. So this is a phase where probably next year we will be doing much bigger turnover, sir, once we are successful in the airport.
So for the processing unit that you are talking about and the company's operations expansion, have you raised any
Sir,
funds?
we have
That the millet production has not come to half. In fact, it has doubled. No, it has been doubled. The area has reduced. Area has reduced. The production and productivity have increased. Okay, number one. Number two, the pricing you are saying. The government of India has come up with minimum support price. There are minimum support price for bajra, jowar, and ragi. And in some states like Chhattisgarh, they are also giving minimum support price for kodo, right? Kodo and kudki. So some state governments, through their millet missions, they are coming up with minimum support price and are also procuring from the farmers. If it is not happening in one state, it does not mean that it is not happening anywhere in India. It is happening in some states who are interested and proactive in promoting millets. The thing is, it depends on the state governments and the existing situations in their respective locations. So we are no one to comment on the state governments. Then there are equipment and machinery available to do primary processing and secondary processing. And through many of the government schemes like FPOs, these primary processing equipment are placed in those farmer producers organizations, and people, the farmers, are given the opportunity to use them and come up with improved millet grains which will fetch them more price. And also efforts are being done by government to enhance the area, production and productivity. For example, when we talk of productivity, in pearl millet, the productivity has enhanced nearly 2.5 times more. And it is scientifically proven that the increase in productivity in pearl millet is nearly 30 kgs per hectare per year over the period. And similarly, you have in sorghum, in ragi and many more small millets. And at IIMR, we work on 9 different kinds of millets. We come up with improved technologies, improved cultivars with high yield and productivity. And apart from this, we also come out with good management practices and agronomic practices which are being dispersed to farmers through our extension system, through KVKs and through FPOs from time to time, and the farmers are updated with the information, latest updates to them. Apart from this, there are many schemes, many millet missions in different governments which are promoting them and also trying to pull up the farmers and support them with good price in the market. I think I try to answer all. Yeah.
I want to substantiate a few numbers which perhaps for your reporting it would be nice. Say 1950 we had about 15 million tons of millets all put together. Now today we have about 20 million tons. Earlier it was produced from 32 million hectares. Now it is being produced from about 14 to 15 million hectares. So the productivity enhancement is a continuous job. What Madam was talking, IMR at the center, we were trying to see that, and she has already mentioned about the pearl millet where 2.5 times it is increased. If you get into the country's average of millets is 1 million ton, one ton per hectare. But there are potential areas where it can go up to 8 to 9 million tons, as it is proven in some of the fallows, rice fallows which are grown in the new areas that are coming, where one irrigation makes all the difference and all. So our worry is that whether we can feed this as the demand is growing, because we are making all the things. There are enough measures that are being taken, because once you have that potential, getting into your new areas will definitely able to cater to that. So that maybe in a short term we may find some difficulties, maybe for 1 year or so. But then as the seed system is getting robust, because we have already Government of India has established 19 seed hubs under IIMR and backed by the breeder seed production also. There are hectic efforts which are being all led by our director. I think IMR is taking strides to see that this balance between supply and demand can takes place, so that we will take these things to the world community. Now the second point about the mechanization you are talking about the small millets, which is very important. Bharat also will be eagerly waiting for the efficient machinery. So now we agree that is about 75 to 80% efficiency that they are running with. See, millets had no machinery, so it took some time to bring to some stage where the entrepreneurs, researchers all working together. Now big institutes in the country along with IMR, we are tying up to see that whether we can go up to next step 90 or 95% efficiency. So I think this makes a lot of difference for the farmers, because once the system's value chain is in robust, the profits can be plowed back to the farmer. Farmer, if he is motivated, then the area under cultivation also will grow. So these are very important points. And now earlier and now the difference is, earlier it is the India's millet machine was in 2012 what we called as INSIMP. I think you must have reported one article in Hindu Business Line. So that was a great learning for us, where the government of India has instituted a program. But now the new paradigm shift, what we see is the states' millet machines are coming up. So when states own this particular millet machine, the success is more pronounced. For example, Odisha millet machine, then the Karnataka millet machine, Telangana, then you have Uttarakhand, then Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan also they are going to start. So as an institute, as we are all gearing up to see that how we can provide the technical backstopping. Science of millets nobody knows. Today big companies also, they come to us because the science is unknown as far as the millets are concerned. Wheat and rice everybody knows, all the countries have done. So we are trying to provide that so that the millet consumption may increase through demand pull or push, that we will be able to attain something where the millet cultivation can work. So it is a win-win situation where the farmers will be benefited with an increased incomes, and the consumers with the goodness of millets. And that is where the startups role becomes very increasingly. Today if we want to show to the world, take the world, I think Prime Minister is using these startups to show as a facade of Indian millet commercialization. So these are all being nurtured by NutriHub at IIMR. So I think we take that credit and we will continue to work for that, and see the gaps are still there. I don't see any perfect situation. But I want to tell you one thing, it is like a perfect storm. You have the problems, but you have all the solutions also. Thank you.
Global level, India is the one who is making the stride.
In yields?
In millets.
Okay.
If you are talking of other crops, I agree with you.
Okay.
But in millets, in India is the top.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
are the people showing the path to other countries. And if you if you recollect, recently we had one global Sri Anna conference at Delhi in March 16 to 18th. In that, Prime Minister of India has given the status of millets as Sri Anna, stating that it is a superfood. Now, after that, there are many countries which are approaching us to understand the know-how and what are the production practices and other cultivars they wanted to gain from India, take from India. Not only that,
There's a huge export potential. Are we capable of exploiting that situation?
Madam, there is a very huge export potential, and some magazines outside India, they have come up with some numbers which show that by 25, then 2030 and then 2040, the export potential is going to be 200 to 300 times. That is what we have seen in their reports. So there is a large export potential because people are going for gluten-free foods. Millets do not have gluten, which is gluten is supposed to cause celiac disease, and a number of, it is also responsible for many other complications in the human body. That is why the entire world is looking for gluten-free foods. And naturally, millets are blessed as gluten-free foods. Number two, people are looking across the world for organic foods. And if you see millets, they are very low input receiving crops, and they don't need much fertilizers, and no one is using any pesticides or insecticides in millets. So by virtue of their existing growing conditions, millets are going to be the choice of crops. They are the future crops. Also from the climate resilience point of view, high temperature, the temperature is going to increase. Millets have the potential to withstand high temperatures. And also millets have very less water footprints. They need very less water compared to your rice and wheat. Also, the carbon footprints of millets are very less. So looking into all these things, to achieve the sustainable development goals which are put in front of us, the targets, through cultivation of millets and through consumption of millets, we are going to achieve them. I don't say other crops are not essential. They are essential, but millets are one way to achieve those. And if you look into the recent National Institute of Nutrition advocacy, they say that if you are eating 3 parts of carbohydrates, at least 1/3 of the carbohydrates you try to draw from millets. So that is the recommendation even National Institute of Nutrition is giving. So looking into all these things, there is not only export potential, a big consumption potential in India itself.
Just a quick.
Solemnly at the management's decision, as of now, we have stopped franchising it to anybody outside. So we are focused more on actually bringing good quality food. So we were actually last almost 4 to 5 months, we were working on this airport outlets. It was a big challenge for us because we had to bring out a lot of changes to prepare millet food, ma'am. So as of now, we have not given it to franchise to anybody else. Maybe probably in another 3 to 6 months, if management decides, then probably we'll go ahead.
Normally, Gen X is the one which is, more into eating at airports. So how do you really attract that kind of a generation? Because, that's the generation.
Ma'am, our executive director is an example of that. They are the next generation. She is here, sitting here, promoting millets. So it's a myth, ma'am. That's what actually when we initially started Millet Marvels, a lot of people told me only people above 50 would eat, only people above 60 would come to you, only diabetics would come, hypertensive. I'm surprised to see, but ma'am, people will be forced to eat on a medical point. If you look at young women, ma'am, today, 90% of the women would be taking medication for hypothyroidism. And I think around say 60 to 70, I'm not very good with the numbers, but most of them were actually having PCOD issues. For all these people, the food of choice is millet again. Even they don't want to eat, they will be asked to eat. Like ma'am said, once doctor prescribes, it becomes easy. And I can see, ma'am, like because we have restaurants in the city as well, we see a lot of enthusiastic crowd who come to us, people who work out come to us, they come and have food.
But again, sustainability is one big aspect, like there was a time when oats and buckwheat and quinoa were a fad. Now we have our own Indian millets which are equivalent to that and cheaply priced comparatively. But again, that's a cycle. So how do you sustain this? Like ma'am said, the doctor's thing is more important.
Ma'am, this is just a beginning. Thanks to Honorable Prime Minister and we celebrating International Year of Millets. So now even the millet cultivation predominantly has grown up even in South and North as well, ma'am. Mm-hmm. So this chain might take another 5 to 10 years. It will take time to build this up. So, but we will actually see to that it will change slowly, ma'am. That change is happening, but it will take time, ma'am. But we need to walk through this because there are no guidelines still in the country for how to do millet, how to eat millet, all this. So now they are framing the guidelines which they are passing on to us. We are actually telling the people.
Okay, just one more question. The locals, I'm talking about the people who come from rural areas and all. They know millets in their local languages. They do not know it as a millet. We go selling them as millet, but they know it as bajra, kodri and all that. So how do you attract those kind of people? Even they are traveling today. So,
ma'am, if you look at our even packing, we have 3 languages written on that,
okay,
including English. You will have Telugu and Hindi as well. and we're in the restaurant format actually because that's universally we follow English. That's what we've been writing on the restaurant formats. But we have a screen playing there which actually talks about millets, which explains the benefits of millets,
Okay.
which also talks about how to prepare millets. 1 second, ma'am. I think she wanted to answer something.
I just wanted to add to what you were saying about, like
Millets, as a subject which is very close to my heart. And now I see that many hearts are also coming together to make it a success. That we all sing the same song with a common music. As my director, Dr. Tara Satyavati, was pointing that doctors prescribe, actors promote. Now we have both a doctor as well as an actor in Dr. Bharat Reddy. So we need this promotion in a big way. I'm very happy that GMR, the role they played in bringing this dream of not just Bharat, but it is my dream also. So this is what is very important for us. See, we were working at Indian Institute of Millet Research, and I think Kurmanath knows since past 10-12 years very, very intensively trying to bring and to work for this day. And the first restaurant that is going to come on exclusively millet based at Hyderabad is something I think we all need to cherish, and also it should become not just one or two, but this chain must continue. I think this is what from the core of my heart. So millet marvels. In fact, at Indian Institute of Millet Research, we have built the value chain, and we have also established NutriHub, and then that is housing about 400 startups and nurturing them for the past 5 years or so. And this has been a very great success. No wonder that today, if it is International Year of Millets has come to that stage, I think lot to really just, I think we are, when the government is promoting millets, we are technology ready. That's very important. Without the technology, you cannot take. Science and technology based promotion is happening now. So this is very important. Any other promotion that comes just like that, it comes and goes off. But the one which comes with the science, I think, and the technology, we have a big leadership role to play to take those things. I think Bharat's dream and the model that which I examined, that the type of the restaurant based where the exclusive millet, I am sure that very soon that he is going to establish in Africas, Americas and Europe also. So I think let us clap all of you, because this is our wish. Our Indians must take these millets to the globe, and nothing is appreciated other than the one which is connected to your tongue. So the taste, the palate and all those things. What I saw is that his immense passion for this thing. I saw him through all the phases where it is not that nobody comes to this level just like that. So ups and downs, but as millet is resilient, there is and Bharat is also a resilient person. So that's the reason this brand is very appropriate. Millet marvels. In fact, this marvel will be staying for a long time, and we wish him all the best. And especially on behalf of our Indian Institute of Millet Research, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and Indian Institute of NutriHub, which is a commercial facade of Indian Institute of Millet Research, we all, every time he comes and visits us, the support wholeheartedly we would like to give, especially his previous venture, and which is going successfully with Apollo, is also a laudable thing, taking to the food to the patients. And the last one thing that I would like to tell you is that whom they are catering to this, because these millets are traditionally branded as a poor man's crop on a negative connotation. Now Prime Minister, now he has put into the right track by saying it's a Shri Anna. That's fine. But then see, in economic theory it says that there is a demonstration effect. The demonstration effect is that when it was consumed by the poor people, then people have branded it like that. So it's now because of the demonstration effect, it means that the poor tend to imitate the rich. Developing nations will imitate the developed nations. So even in our diet also there is some sort of a phenomenon that happens. So this sort of a branding in airports would augur very, very well, taking to the common public, especially now if it is going to start with, those all cannot fly just like that. Either they have to be a government employee or private, but on their own it is only very few, I think. But I feel that the majority of them from A1, A2 or B1 categories of customers or consumers that would normally fly. So if that is branded as a food that can be consumed by them, and the glamour that is associated with the rest of the people will very easily follow that. They will, and the consumption, millet consumption, which has to grow, will go more rapidly. So that's the reason you see that initially that kurkure was only it was only available in the cities and the poor villages were not. Today you go the remotest place, you'll find that kurkure and all. So that sort of a percolation from top to down also is a phenomena that happens, especially the human behavior is concerned. So we will see in the days to come that this phenomena would take and make millet a healthy brand, Millet Marvels, and millets, I think it should be a vehicle to promote the millets. Thank you very much.